It is essential to take a step back and reflect upon the series of events that have evolved over the past few years. We must address the ongoing global trade tensions, ones that, unfortunately, have been escalated by actions from the European Union and the Joe Biden administration. The World Trade Organization recently sounded the alarm. They have unequivocally warned against the perils of dividing our interconnected global economy into isolated trade blocs, the repercussions, a steep decline in real wages by 5 globally, and an even graver decline of 10 in our world's most vulnerable nations. Yet, despite this, the European Union took a confrontational stance, imposing tariffs on Chinese goods. Hello and welcome back to Innovative Check YouTube channel, where we delve into the innovative and transformative projects changing our world. If you're new to the channel and enjoy learning about innovation stories around the world, you've come to the right place. Please subscribe, like, and comment to help boost our videos on YouTube. Now, let me ask you all this. Why would anyone, aware of the potential economic repercussions, embark on such a contentious path? The answer, it seems, lies in an attempt to deliberately slow down China's economic growth. The EU's decisions are reflective of certain powerhouses trying to hamper China's advancements by way of imposing economic restrictions. The European Union's move has undoubtedly ruffled feathers within its confines. Established giants such as Airbus, along with cosmetics manufacturers and even wineries, are voicing their apprehensions. They recognize that we're teetering on the precipice of an economic standoff between two of the world's largest economies. It wasn't long ago that the Joe Biden administration instigated the tariff issue with China, which was met with a proportionate response from China. A burgeoning trade war between the US and China was something the world watched with bated breath. And now, we see the European Union following a similar path. Brussels is mulling over imposing anti-dumping and anti-subsidy tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles, citing concerns over unfair competition. But isn't the very essence of the free market about competition? It is concerning to see the European Commission increasingly bear a confrontational stance against China. From considering tariffs on Chinese medical devices to probing into the Chinese rail industry, the signs of strain are evident. The justification often revolves around ensuring fair trade practices, but at what cost? Brussels' previous encounters with Beijing have demonstrated that confrontational strategies can push relations to the brink of a trade war. History is replete with instances where China has responded to such provocations. In the past, threats to favor Boeing over Airbus or sidestepping French and Spanish wines have been part of China's counter-strategies. An all-out trade war serves no one. And yet the EU seems willing to tread this dangerous path. The electric car market remains at the center of this debate. French President Emmanuel Macron's proclamation that the EU should not allow China to dominate the electric car sector, just as it did with solar panels, underscores the sense of urgency and competition brewing within the bloc. We've already seen China's assertive stance in response to Brussels' actions, like when the EU imposed sanctions against Chinese officials over human rights concerns. The swift and stern Chinese response resulted in the collapse of an EU investment deal with China. Ladies and gentlemen, it is vital to remember that trade wars are not merely economic wars. They are political battles too. They are woven with threads of national pride, strategic interests, and a struggle for global dominance. In these wars, there are no outright winners. Every retaliatory action has its consequences, and as these tensions escalate, the global economy faces the brunt. As I reflect upon the information shared here, I recognize the urgency of the hour. The direction in which the European Union, led by certain key players, is headed appears fraught with risks. The actions of the Joe Biden administration and the EU strategies might have been crafted with a vision to limit China's growth, but these tactics will undoubtedly have far-reaching implications for global trade and cooperation. If you are enjoying this video so far, please don't forget to subscribe, share the video, and comment. Why would the EUA, an entity constructed on the principles of free movement of goods, people, and ideas, suddenly erect barriers? It's hard not to glance across the Atlantic and see the influence of past decisions made by the Biden administration. When the United States started the trend of imposing tariffs, it set a precedent, one that the European Union seems keen on following. Remember, the United States, under the Biden administration, initiated this tariff war under the guise of protecting national interests. It wasn't just a simple economic maneuver. It was a statement that said that competition from China was not welcome, a statement that preferred isolation over cooperation. But how did China respond? With grace and strategy, focusing on diversifying their trade partnerships, strengthening their internal economy, and yes, retaliating when necessary. It was a game of economic chess, and it still is. Now, one must ask, why are we, the global citizens, caught in this crossfire? Let's answer that together. We're entangled in this web because of political maneuverings that prioritize short-term gains over long-term global progress. Instead of investing in innovation, infrastructure, and internal development to compete fairly on the global stage, the easiest route taken has been to curtail the growth of a rising power. China, Airbus cosmetics manufacturers, wineries, these aren't just businesses. They're institutions representing the culture and legacy of Europe. They are now grappling with the fallout of a rushed decision, one that's driven more by political bravado than economic pragmatism. The ripple effects are already visible. The EU's automotive industry, a crown jewel, now stands at a precipice with millions of jobs and the livelihoods they represent under the shadow of uncertainty. Trade between China and the EU stood at a staggering $240 billion last year. Now, these very foundations of commerce, built over decades, are shaking. Brussels might downplay the possibility of retaliation from Beijing, but one needs to be naive to think that China would remain passive in the face of such provocations. The European Union's dalliance with the idea of tariffs, especially on the burgeoning electric vehicle market, is not just a knee-jerk reaction, but also a reflection of the pervasive insecurity. With China's potential to offer the world efficient and affordable electric vehicles, thanks to state support, the EU feels cornered. But instead of introspecting and innovating, it's lashing out. And such reactions, history has taught us, rarely result in positive outcomes. The examples from the past are telling. The fiasco surrounding solar panels is a poignant reminder of how such endeavors end. The EU wanted to guard its interest then, and what did it lead to? China outmaneuvering European strategies, playing the EU nations against each other. A game of divide and conquer that China played skillfully. China, for its part, hasn't been shy about expressing its displeasure either. The recent sanctions against European lawmakers and academics are a testament to its resolve. And while some might call it an overreaction, in the grand scheme of things, it's but a measured response to the constant provocation it faces. Germany, which has been a significant player in this saga, is rightly worried. The Chinese market has been a lifeline for its automotive giants, and any disruption in this relationship would be catastrophic. The success stories of Volkswagen and Mercedes-Benz in China are not just business tales. They're narratives of integration, of mutual respect and understanding. As this tussle unfolds, one cannot help but feel for the businesses caught in the crossfire. The uncertainty, the potential loss of revenue, and the challenges of navigating this new hostile terrain are daunting. The European Union, with its latest strategies, is moving away from its core principles. Instead of embracing the global stage, it's receding into a shell, trying to fend off competition through policies that reek of protectionism. The decisions might offer temporary relief or even short-term gains, but the long-term ramifications could reshape the global economic landscape, and sadly, not for the better. The world watched as the United States initiated this trade war, and many hoped that the European Union, with its rich history of diplomacy and cooperation, would chart a different course. But alas, the winds of change blow strong, and they carry with them the chilling message of protectionism. As we navigate these tumultuous waters, one can only hope that reason will prevail, and cooperation will once again become the cornerstone of our global economic policies. Thank you for your attention, and I welcome your thoughts and questions on this complex and vital subject. Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, please like and share the video, and subscribe to get exclusive videos about how phenomenally China is developing and growing its influence. Your subscriptions and likes motivate us to generate more content, so please keep supporting us. Check out this video showing on your screen right now, and I will see you on the other side.